Welcome everybody to Corner 3, the best basketball podcast on the planet. Coming to you live from Fanbyte World. We are rocking with you all here at home. That's what I'm calling it about, Fanbyte World. That's the new one. No Fanbyte World?
We opened only months into the pandemic and we stayed open.
We are not like, you know, the Disneyland that is across the pond.
There are hundreds of people in the park right now.
Yo, they're all
I'm sorry?
All of them.
I'm being told there are dozens of people at the park right now.
Oh, are they social distancing?
No.
That is not the rules of Fanbyte Land. It is not the way that we do things. And I feel like, John, you have to put your foot down in an actual way and make sure that people are not doing that. Hit the gavel of Fanbyte Land and tell people that they cannot just walk around without social distancing.
Listen, we're getting vacued, okay? Like, it's fine.
Wait, is that the new term?
I don't care. Listen, I don't care what happens to anybody else, but John and I are getting vacued both of us are getting vacued in the next 3 weeks. So y'all can do whatever the fuck you want, but John and I are Gucci.
We're Gucci, and we're gonna hang out in LA in a few weeks and just like we're gonna lick so many doorknobs.
We're gonna lick so many doorknobs. Yeah,
awesome.
I just want to see you holding hands, skipping down the street, just breathing on motherfuckers.
We'll fucking do it. Don't fucking threaten us with a good time, Khalif. We're gonna do it.
I can't die.
Yeah.
Also, I'm less mad at the fact that everybody in Fanbyte Land is not doing their social distancing, and more upset at the word vacky.
Why? No, it's good. I gotta get the vacky.
I think we came up with that on Monday's Friends Reunion episode, and I think that's just kind of what we're running with. So,
Oh my god! Well, thank you everybody in podcast land for joining us in the vacky suite.
You knew what it was, though.
That shit is terrible.
Yeah, you knew. It's not like you didn't know what it was, Khalif.
I know.
You said it. You go, oh, is that what we're calling it now? So what did you think it was?
I know what words mean. I'm not fucking Meyers Leonard. I know what words mean.
Good segue, Khalif.
I can infer shit. I can infer shit by what happens in those spaces. Again, if you've been listening to Corner 3, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you're Make sure you're checking us out on all the podcast platforms. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star review so we can talk about you, your crew, your family too, and everybody. Hopefully they get vacued soon. Yuck, ill, gross. Anyway,
you keep saying it. That's how it becomes real.
Because I feel like it needs a gang sign. You can't just say vacky without just hand signals. Yeah, vacky, bro. Like vacky. Yo, I got vacky. Let's go, vacky squad. Like, no, I don't want somebody with a really expensive bag talking about you. I just got vacky.
We just got the vacky.
I just got my vacky.
Well, joke's on you, Khalif. That's going to be your two co-hosts in near weeks. So.
I'll be sitting here with like everything in gray tone, like everything is just desaturated. Like two of these folks are vacued and the other one isn't.
Yeah.
Anywho, someone who we should be vacuing from racism and from unreasonableness and understanding how language and words work is our not friend Meyers Leonard, who is here.
Thought this dude was out of the league.
I thought he was out of the league already too, which should have been a thing. I would say.
I mean, I'd say he is.
He looks like he was on the Wisconsin team. Remember the Wisconsin team that made it to the Final Four like 10 years ago that had like Frank Kaminsky and fucking that other dude? It was just a bunch of white boys. You remember that team?
Yeah.
He looks like he was on there.
He also, the thing, if you're watching this on YouTube or wherever the videos are going to wind up going, he looks like he doesn't know words in this picture.
Yeah.
Like,
no idea.
Like he hears vocabulary words and he's like, sound it out, plus.
Well, I mean, yeah. He looks like he knows some words. He looks like he knows the word he got in trouble for, to me.
I mean,
like he looks like he knows that word.
I mean, I love the fact that his number is 0 because he has no sense.
It's
one of those things. It's one.
Kyle, you're like 3 for 3 on this podcast.
I mean, it's like I almost got vacued and didn't even know. I have superpowers.
Wait, I have the rap air horn. Wait,
do you?
Nah, I thought I did.
Oh shoot, we're gonna have to put that in post.
Fuck.
Damn it. Well, the story around Meyers Leonard is that he said a terrible word. He said an anti-Semitic word on a stream playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, like the worst one.
Yeah,
The worst one you could say.
The one
Not
that
one-
will definitely get you smacked up.
Yeah, not one that like you can confuse with other ones.
Yeah.
No. That's the craziest part is that there's nothing else this word has ever meant or will ever mean. It is the one word for this thing, and it's the worst thing you could say. And you said it in a heated gamer moment playing fucking Call of Duty. and yeah. And then he gets my favorite part is like there's this weird pause. He goes, "Oh, listen, guy, I gotta go hang out with my wife. I definitely didn't get obliterated by the league and the internet and all my sponsors right now. I just have to go
Dinner's ready.
hang with the wife now." So
and then turned around 24 hours later in non-Notes app, and didn't even do it in Notes app.
I know.
Punk ass move.
Come on.
Like, didn't even do it in this Notes app. Like, did it in an actual statement that you can see came out. And also, interestingly enough, came out in the same format that you would have put I want to rep for Black Lives Matter font. Which is also interesting because the picture that I shared on the internet the other day of him not kneeling while everyone else was kneeling at a game, which got me an amazing amount of heat on the internet.
Makes you think. Weird. Why?
Oh, well, because, well, Nikki, you have to understand, first of all, if you salute the flag,
right,
that's all that matters.
Right. That's true.
The only thing that matters is that his brother was or is a military vet. And during a moment where other people are like saying, hey, let's take this moment and reflect on the lives of Black people who have been abused and mutilated throughout the decades and millennia. Let me take my one time to salute my brother in the military, because that at that moment is the most important part of the conversation.
No one talks about veterans in this country.
I mean, no one even talks about the respect of the flag in this country. With that conversation has just disappeared.
Yeah.
It's also really interesting.
It's a shame.
The funny part about that really, as a quick aside, is I had numerous people get mad at me for, saying that basically he took an anti-social justice stance by doing what he did in that moment. Yeah. Where I had multiple people call me all kinds of words for like 3 days straight over that thing. And I kind of got to the point where I had to rethink my thought process, because I was like, well, are you the folks that when we have the moment of silence are screaming hell yeah? Because that's what it feels like.
Yes, of course.
It's like, let's have this one moment where we're going to do this one thing, but I'm going to be that person that does the complete opposite and not pays attention to the moment. So
yeah,
the interesting part that I'd love to hear you talk about, both of you, is how does this work in terms of one, saying a thing like that out loud and then knowing that you fucked it up, and then the day later, not in his Notes app, fool, he said he didn't know what the word meant, but he still said it. Someone please explain this to me in a reasonable way.
Let me see how old this dude is.
He is less than my age, which is enough.
Are we the same age? Oh, he's like 4 years older than me. This is a I didn't know what the word means is like such a mid to late 20s explanation.
Right.
Of like how to say a slur. Like fuck, nobody told me that's what that one meant. Anyway, I just picked it off the floor. I'll catch y'all on the flip. Please don't get mad.
It's wild.
It's not like a piece of exotic fruit. It's not it's not like a dragon fruit or a kumquat or something where like you see it and you're just like, oh, no one ever told me what the fuck this was, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it.
Like, it's just, that's that word really specifically, and I've seen some folks say this, and folks more qualified than I am to talk about it, because as far as I know, none of us are Jewish on this podcast, but like. No. I think that word was if you don't know what a mean word means,
right?
Maybe don't say it, because
it's only 4 letters. Just type it in the Google.
Don't say it. But that's giving him too much credit. This motherfucker knew what that meant.
Yeah,
don't buy that for like
absolutely.
A second. And so yeah, that's not going to cut it. Now, a lot of folks, I don't think that is a widely used word in 2021.
Sure.
But I still think that is absolutely no excuse, and I think he absolutely knew what it meant. I think he's full of shit, and I think everyone with a brain thinks he's full of shit too. So
yeah. Nikki, any thoughts to add to that?
I don't know. It's just like it's like a tier. You know how the government schedules drugs?
Yes.
And like it's nonsensical how the government schedules the drugs, but the worst ones are at the top. The one that he used is so far out of that fucking list that it's like I don't even know where. Like I just don't. It's not. You have to learn that one. Someone has to tell you what
you
that
have
one
to learn
means
that
first.
One. Someone has to tell you what that means.
Like that's not one that you hear on the playground. Well, I guess maybe it is, but it's not. It's not one that like you're not.
Maybe
you know
on the
what it
playground
is?
he was on.
Yeah, maybe. But it's not like you're listening to music or whatever, and like.
Right.
You hear that one in music and you're like, well, I know that's a slur, but I don't really know what it means. So I'm just going to use it when I'm mad.
The last time I've heard that in any form or fashion that was something that was tied to something where you would have heard it in a kind of larger context media-wise.
It was 1946.
Well, no, not even. Michael Jackson said it in a song.
What?
Michael Jackson said it in a song in They Don't Care About Us. He said it in that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
that was a huge controversy because he said that word. But also, he said it because he knew that it was a slur that was talking about the overall context of how people are discriminated against. And I really don't think that Meyers Leonard had that song in his phone to be like, let me look at the genius rundown of the lyrics of this joint and be like, oh, that's a word. What does that mean? Let me add that to my vocabulary. That doesn't happen. It is wild. So the other angle of this, really quickly, that I think is interesting is, I think is Julian Edelman reached out basically to him.
Fuck that guy.
And said, hey, let's have Shabbat dinner. Like, basically, he tried to give him some air cover and was like, hey.
Why?
Which is the wildest thing, because
guys, listen, guys with that haircut got to stick together, okay? Like, it's like, it's like really, like they all have a group that's like, we're reclaiming this from Richard Spencer, but then they keep acting like Richard Spencer, so it's this weird vicious circle.
Oh my god! He put this like heartfelt open letter to him. He says, "Yeah, I wish I had like really pretty music to play underneath this." So we've never met. Which is automatically like, then mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
I hope we can one day.
We never met, we never will. Bye.
Yeah, I hope that one day soon, I'm sure that you're getting lots of criticism for what you said. Not trying to add to that. I just want to offer some perspective. I get that the sense that you didn't use that word out of hate, more out of ignorance. What? Most likely.
I love using words out of ignorance. Just saying stuff because I don't know what it means. I'm just saying stuff that I don't know what it means when I get killed by a 12-year-old in Warzone.
You weren't trying to hurt anyone or even profile Jews in your comment. That's not what makes it destructive. When someone intends to be hateful, it's usually met with great resistance. Casual ignorance is harder to combat and has greater reach, especially when you command great influence. Miles Leonard doesn't command great influence.
Who gives a shit about Miles Leonard? Nobody's like...
Hate is like a virus. Even accidentally, it can rapidly spread. I'm down in Miami fairly often. Let's do a Shabbat dinner with some friends, and I'll show you a fun... Wait, and I'll show you a fun time. This is what made me mad on the internet, because, again, we're coddling people for doing fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And then giving them air cover by making it seem like they are not grown-ass individuals who know better and should understand better and who are professionals and have a fucking PR barrage behind them to be like, don't say the terrible word that you just said. And if you do, you need to apologize in the fullest way you possibly can. Not, I didn't know what the word meant.
Not, I didn't know
That's
what
why,
it meant. Because, yeah.
No, I was going to say that even from that perspective, it makes absolutely no sense why Julian Edelman's PR person, well, I'm sure they were like, really? You don't have to do this. We don't have to issue this statement.
Julian, you're in the twilight of your fucking career, but
yeah, like you don't have to say anything.
And what
nobody's gonna.
What fun do you have after that?
Well, no, listen, they're both gonna stream Call of Duty Warzone, and both of them are gonna say nigger at the same time. I don't know what you're expecting.
I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things where. Because in my wildest dream, my wildest version of this in my head, they get into a room, they start playing freaking charades, and they're just like, all right, so what does this mean? They start doing stuff that's probably people getting, a whole bunch of stuff. You're like, hey.
And he just keeps pointing at Julian Edelman. And Julian's like, what?
Yeah, he's like, you, bad, you, historically, how do you, bad.
God.
So I just don't.
We're gonna move off of this because it just was a thing that.
Well, what happens to him though, right?
Nothing.
Like he's out of the league, right?
I mean,
no,
he was dropped by the Heat.
He was fined $50,000. He's dropped by the Heat.
Yeah,
that's not a lot, though.
That's not a lot.
50 grand is not a lot. Steph got more. Steph was fined more when he threw his mouthpiece into the stands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
Don't you? I like and maybe this is hyperbolic, but I kind of feel this way. Like to me in 2021, this should be Malice at the Palace level of like.
Yes.
Like this guy should be fucking like commentators should be like, this guy fucking sucks. Like,
yeah,
the clutching pearls at Ron Artest throwing a punch at a guy that threw a drink at him.
Right.
Like that kind of vitriol and anger should be what we're throwing at this privileged ass Meyer Lemon motherfucker saying the worst word you can imagine. In a heated gamer moment. I don't know. It's just like, anyway,
the hardest part about
I'm just glad it wasn't Luka that did it.
But I don't think Luka would do it. Like,
no, I think you're right.
Because here's the weird thing, though, and this was a part of the conversation that happened on Twitter too. Was a lot of folks who were getting in my behind about it. They were like, "But he wore the shirt. He put on the Black Lives Matter shirt when he wasn't kneeling."
Oh, fuck yeah, no.
And who knows that word? That's the word I only heard today after he said that thing online. No one uses that. It's not, to me, it's not even the fact that like Miami gave him a slap on the wrist. It's not the fact that he'll probably find his way back into the league in some form or fashion. Mm-hmm, it's not even the fact that all of those things are combined with him still now having to go to sensitivity training, which he'll go watch in Zootopia for an hour and that'll be it. So it's the idea of, again, how do we get through to all the people who saw this as a thing, and no matter where you land on, what you say in the moment, his ability to not think straight about, a word that he shouldn't have used. It's the greater culture conversation that we have to have about how people still give air cover to these kinds of things, and will find every way to, squeeze lemonade out of a situation like this to make it feel like that person didn't do something that was extremely terrible. Say that and then just dip out of the conversation. That to me is the actual problematic parts of all of this stuff, is that we continue to give space for people to do a really terrible thing and find excuses for their actions in that way. So
is this a bigger conversation if Gordon Hayward says it?
I mean,
you mean if it's a better player, if it's a better,
yeah. If it was someone like that more people knew about, like, is this conversation different? That's wild, right? I feel like the one who's the most expensible
is
Meyers Leonard. What's his name? Meyers Leonard.
Yeah,
should be just like, I feel like it should be zero tolerance for this dude. I feel like this conversation where we're like, it's weird they only kind of took a half step. Like, he's not good enough for that.
Yeah, like nothing is lost if you lose Meyers Leonard off your squad.
Yeah, like who gives a shit? There are like 75 guys in the G League who are just as good, probably.
Yeah, like if it was like Birdman in his prime, then I would have been like, well, damn, we're losing something here. At least you have the visual flair of neck tattoos and pretty art, right?
It's the easiest guy to see on the court.
Meyers just looks like, every almost
there's 75 guys just like him in the G League right now. And if you took Meyers off of the squad and then put somebody else on, you wouldn't know the difference.
Look.
And like it's so wild to me that this conversation is ongoing because he's literally not good enough. From the Heat's perspective, he's not good enough to justify this.
Yeah.
So
they should have nuked him out of orbit.
Yeah.
They should have nuked him out of orbit just like immediately. But yeah.
Anyway. It's wild. Anyway, I hope nothing good happens to him for the future. That's what I say. Next up, we have LaMarcus Aldridge is leaving the Spurs.
Future Los Angeles Laker on the vet minimum.
Do you think he's going? Wait, do you think he's
Aldridge.
Going? Do you think he's going?
I don't know how he helps my team.
You just want everybody on your team. You got.
Of course.
Well, I was about to say you got. Well, actually, because you weren't on the last.
Get anybody.
You aren't on the last show because you were on the IR. Thank you. I'm happy to see you here and as well.
I'm back.
We were talking last week about Blake Griffin possibly going to your team. Do you feel that you lost anything by him not coming?
No, I fucking hate Blake Griffin. His legs are done. He's never going to be able to jump. He never had it, never will. And I'm not afraid of the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay, I just had to ask that question because I was like, I wonder, because that was a speculation that they were going to have another super team. But now, again, the conversation is like,
listen, that guy's old.
If he dunks on LeBron,
I can't.
That's starting. I mean, you look at that starting lineup though. It's James Harden, it's Kyrie Irving, it's Kevin Durant, it's Blake Griffin, and it's DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, it's a good lineup for 2 out of those 5 guys 5 years ago.
I mean, listen. Okay, I'll give you that. 5 years ago, that's like the most.
That's unreal. Yeah.
That's an unreal lineup.
That would be like having
pretty wild now.
Yeah, that would be like having Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden all on the same team at the same time.
Yeah.
And wouldn't that be weird if that ever happened?
Yeah. That would. I mean, hey.
It'd be so strange if those three were ever on a team together.
Who knew?
Who knew?
LaMarcus. I mean, the running rumor is that he goes back to Portland.
Yeah.
Because we.
Yeah. Do you want him?
I mean,
that's a good question.
Right.
I mean, slow farts are still farts. Like.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean,
does he feel it? Does he feel a need for Portland? Because I don't know if I see
we
that.
need a steady big man who can. The problem is right now, both big men at our 5 spot don't have an actual offensive game.
Right.
Like, and that's reasonable. Like LaMarcus is a great pick and pop big man. Like I would take him to do that because that is a thing that you don't need legs for. You don't need to be, young and spry to do that kind of stuff. Sure. So to a certain extent, like if he's still able to kind of do that work and do that, the thing I do wonder though is Portland as a team is vastly different than what it was when he was
when he left.
Main folks right on the squad.
Yeah,
where Dame is taking most of the big shots. He's running the offense. He is moving people around. They're setting things up for him. It gives Dame a pretty valuable and solid person that already has chemistry with, which I think is a good part of that conversation. But in terms of what output do we expect from LaMarcus? He'll drop 10 points a game maybe, which could be the difference in a Western Conference that's in a tight league, right? Where, Blazers are probably going to be in the upper, at least in 5 to 7 spot somewhere. Maybe even a little bit higher. And that could be the thing that gets you out of the first round and into the second. Mm-hmm. So it will be interesting to see what that means in terms of that. I guess this is the real understanding that the Spurs are packing it in at this point, and kind of giving up on the rest of the season to lose LaMarcus, was like a pretty solid player for them. Like there wasn't a lot of beef, there wasn't a lot of anger, across the space. And
I was gonna say he carried that when Kawhi got injured, aka sat out for that year. He like carried that team deep into the playoffs that year.
Yeah.
Like he's good.
I mean, that there's a lot of really young talent on that Spurs team that I think is yet to totally fully develop. I think we're still waiting on that. And it's a Greg Popovich team, so it's like I'm expecting that to happen at some point. But I mean, DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge on any given night were kind of trading which kind of player was the kind of the focal point. And yeah, I mean, I if I'm the Spurs, I'm looking at getting rid of both, to be totally honest.
Yeah,
but
DeRozan and Marcus.
Yeah, I mean they're not doing anything this year, and I think DeMar DeRozan is not enough of a difference maker to keep him around. I think he could make.
You know what it is though?
Another team, but I don't know.
He makes them too good.
Oh, for like
they need to
they need to tank even more.
They need to tank. Yeah. Like I mean, like I don't know. Greg Popovich, great, but I don't think like San Antonio is ever going to be a free agent destination. Also, the way that team plays, there's nobody that's coming available in the next like 3 or 4 years. It's going to be like that's going to work in that system. So like they need to tank and get a good draft pick, and then get somebody that they can make into a good guy for that system. But like if they have both of these guys, if they have LaMarcus and DeMar, then like they're going to be too good. They're going to like scrape in at the 8 seed, or they're going to like just miss the playoffs, but then not have good enough position to get a top draft pick in the lottery. So
I mean, with the conversation of Victor Oladipo being in this space, do you think an Oladipo and DeRozan backcourt would make sense? I mean, small forward, two guard kind of deal.
Yeah.
Or do you bring DeRozan and Oladipo to the Knicks?
Okay.
And then have a banger of a 3 and a 2. Anyway,
now we're talking.
That's never gonna happen. They won't even let Patrick in the damn building anymore.
Who? I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah, they're like, who are you, old man?
You just have to assume if they're that tall and black that they used to play in the building, right? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why this is an issue.
Just from GP, like, I think you might have did something in here at least once.
Like, I don't understand.
When you walk in the garden, there's at least 3 pictures of the man.
Of Patrick Ewing.
Of him. Of Patrick Ewing. Yeah. Just like in there.
And the guy still looks the same. He looks the same. It's not like he looks different.
He hasn't. Yeah. He looks the same. He looks mad all the time. And
it's unreal.
I love him. I love Patrick and his jaundice style. Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't understand what the deal is with that. And I wonder what happens to LaMarcus. It feels like at this point, either he is kind of going to make his last ring run, because he has a ring, or he doesn't have a ring.
No.
He doesn't have a ring?
Mm-mm. He's only played for 2 teams.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, he'll make his ring run, maybe jump on a squad and see what that would be. Maybe I don't know. Would the Lakers even make sense?
I don't want him.
Well, fine. If you don't want him, then I guess that makes sense from the GM perspective.
You know who the dark horse is, and I don't know anything about this to say if this makes sense. But I'm just gonna say it because this is a sports show, and you're allowed to just say shit on these ones.
Yeah. That's true. Yep.
Cut whoever the last guy on the bench in Milwaukee is, and then sign LaMarcus Aldridge for the vet minimum. Yeah, that seems like that sounds right.
So he'll just take the vet minimum.
Yeah.
In your scenario, you're just like, you'll take the vet minimum. Also, I think Giannis is going to take a $25 million per year pay cut. And here comes Zion for no reason.
The youth Zion comes. I don't really understand. Speaking of Zion Williamson,
that's some NBA 2K GM logic, right?
Yeah,
there.
That shit works though.
You're just like,
it works every time.
It does work.
It's the most realistic basketball simulator in the fucking world, and it works every time, John.
It works every time.
Speaking of Zion Williamson, that man, someone needs to get that man a dermatologist.
Oh, his neck?
Yeah.
I mean,
he just shaved too close, and he's got like, I don't know. That happened to me in high school. It's fucked up because he's like 1,000 years older than or younger than I am. So like I know where this man was at, even though he could pick me up and break me in half in 35 seconds. But like he just needs to go to a dermatologist. Somebody needs to get that man to the hospital.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like when you have young money,
I don't think I'm aware of his neck.
His neck is in a rough
neck is fucked up.
And I don't want to dwell on it.
No, I don't want to dunk on him. No, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, if somebody's listening and you have an ear in Zion, you have a window in Zion Williamson's ear, just tell that man to go to a dermatologist.
I think Zion has enough money and enough clout that he can get a proactive sponsorship.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. It's right there.
He could do it. He could be like, look, everybody, my neck.
Y'all.
And that'll just be the ad. Everybody, look at my neck.
Zion, don't listen to us. I think you're great.
You're great.
You have a great neck.
You're incredible. Your neck so powerful, so
Here's
strong.
The weird thing is like I feel bad at the fact that you didn't even say anything about his actual body part, and I was like, oh, his neck.
Yeah, that's your fault.
which makes me feel bad about that now.
That's all you. I didn't specify.
Yeah, this is
about his back.
This is too, Khalif. You knew we were talking about vaccinations. And you knew we were talking about the neck. So you knew.
Maybe the vacuum will clean it up.
Maybe the vacuum will clean it up.
Yo, make you think. Clean it up. It's the new Tussin.
Come on, Zion got the vacuum 9 months ago. Come on.
Vacuum is a new Tussin. I called it. Anyway. Also, he missed a bunch of dunks in the All-Star game, which we didn't need a chance to talk about.
I think Zion Williamson is the most relatable National Basketball Association player I've seen in a while, because this dude gets so fucking nervous, and I just love watching him be nervous because it's the most human I've ever seen a player be in a grip. Because this dude was so excited. He was so excited and so nervous, and the second he got that lob, he was like. And it didn't work.
And the bad part about it was like it's like, we know that thing that you do really well, kid. Go do it right now.
Go do the thing.
Do it now. And everybody was throwing him the ball, and he was like, I don't want to jump anymore.
I don't want to.
I want to be here and say what's up to LeBron. I'm tired of jumping.
He's like,
I'm sick of this shit.
I spent all last night listening to Jeff Van Gundy supercut of saying I'm out of shape, which I'd never listened to before. God, Jeff, you gotta cut that shit out.
Mean. Jeff is a little bit mean.
Jeff is very mean.
I love Jeff. I love Jeff Van Gundy like I love my non-children, but it's like, it's amazing.
Jeff be nice.
Jeff Van Gundy.
Jeff, you gotta cut that shit out.
I don't want him to be that mean. I think it's
it's just because it's his brother's kid.
I mean, but Stan is like mean. Oh. Stan is mean in a like physical way. Like,
yeah, Stan will push you to where you have to be on the court.
Yeah,
so being in practice with Stan must be wild, huh?
Yeah, it must be. Like I can just imagine suicides with him. It's just like, shut up, run. But Jeff will like hurt you in your soul about stuff, because he's knowledgeable enough to have gone back to know enough about your career.
Yeah,
to be like, yeah, you remember that time in high school when you fucked up that game? Yeah, and you'll be like, yo, that was my worst game in my career.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I was not
5 fucking years about it. Yeah.
I was being screamed at, and I didn't know what the word meant. Leave me alone. But it's wild because that's Jeff. Anyway, the All-Star game, I mean, did either one of you actually watch it?
I did.
Yeah, what were your thoughts of the All-Star game? Weird new scoring format.
I like the score. I like the scoring format. I think it's cool because it like, I don't know. I think last year there was more effort because it was right after Kobe. So I think everyone was like out here like, I'm about to try to like actually have fun. Last year's game with that scoring was like unreal. It was like the most competitive All-Star game in a grip. I still think the scoring is good. I think LeBron is an unbelievable general manager, and like if like just truly unbelievable, because that his team was unbelievably fun to watch.
Yeah, it was.
And then like it's just Steph and Dame trading threes at the end from as far back as they possibly could was silly. Like there was a lot of like fun moments. There is also absolutely no reason All-Star Weekend needs to be 3 days anymore.
Yeah,
because they just showed that they could do it in one day.
Yeah,
and like there's literally no reason for it to be 3 days anymore. Yeah. It can be the whole thing can be in one day. But Obi Toppin, I guess did get robbed.
I mean,
jumped over just 2 guys, but sure.
I mean, look, he got robbed.
I could jump over 2 guys.
His arm is.
Sure.
2 grown men.
Given enough time, all of us could do this.
He cuffed this dunk over Julius Randle and some other guy that made him, and who had his name. I forgot what his actual street ball name was. But they talked about it during the show. But he got robbed on that in comparison to the non-kiss the rim dunk that my man's from Simons did, which was whack and terrible. And also, if you saw me on the internet, on Twitter, when this thing was happening, talking about we need to ban any NBA player who is over the age of 45 who is judging any dunk contest, I still stand by that.
Yeah,
we need to get them. It needs
to be peers. It is ageist, but it needs to be peers. They need to be in the league. Or it should be other guys on the squad. Like on the squad should be like.
I think it should be like Isaiah Thomas and like
guys who've never dunked before.
Like guys who've never dunked. I think it should be like. Steve Nash.
Dunked. Isaiah caught a dunk off a rebound dunk. He caught a tip dunk.
Okay, now are you talking about the Isaiah Thomas you grew up with 45 years ago?
Oh, you're talking about little baby Isaiah Thomas.
No, the one without knees.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No.
Oh, there is
I know that bad boy piston.
Like there is only
I know that bad boy piston Isaiah Thomas could dunk.
Okay.
I mean the little boy.
Okay,
Isaiah Thomas.
Gotcha.
Former Los Angeles Laker Isaiah Thomas.
I say little boy. He is at least 7 inches taller than I am and could power bomb me through a fucking folding table if he wanted to. So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I think it should be little guys that have never dunked.
Yeah, guys with under 15 dunks in their career should be.
Because they'll just be like, whoa, at everything, like
every dunk would be
a 10. What? Yeah. Everything would be a 10.
The last good dunk contest was Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon 38 years ago. Was that 5 years ago?
Yeah.
2015, 2016. That was the last good one. There hasn't been a good one since.
I feel like Aaron Gordon, whenever the All-Star game happens at this point, he walks into the room like a really old Italian grandma, spits on the floor.
Gotta do it.
He's like, I got robbed twice in this mofo.
He got robbed twice.
They need to just feel good when he wins it.
He's never going to win it because he's never going to go back into it.
It's not going to feel good if he wins it.
He's never going to go back into it.
Because he's been robbed.
He shouldn't go back into it.
No, they just need to do let them do it on slam ball court.
Oh,
starting next year.
God, I miss slam ball.
Also, damn it, I wish I had a video of it, but this is the thing that just made me mad the other day because I was watching it actually on the internet. There are so many dunk videos. I'm a huge fan of dunk videos that happen on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's this new phenomena, and I have to figure out. Maybe I'll try to figure out a way to fit it into this in post. But there's this phenomena of the guy who can actually dunk, and then the person who just lays it up for him that throws the alley.
Uh-huh.
And the dude who throws the alley now does so much unreasonable, superfluous shit to get him the ball now.
That's me.
Like dude's doing
that's my job.
360s to throw the ball to a dude who's actually doing the work. It makes me so mad.
No, that's good. I love that. Stupid. Get everybody involved.
Take your NBA street ass out of here.
No, that's exactly it. That's good. I don't know. They need to there either needs to be a requirement for AAA guys whose Top Shot cards are worth like $500 at least,
Okay.
And then those are the only guys that could be in the dunk contest. Or something. They need to fix it. The skills competition was really funny this year because nobody fucking tried. Luka didn't even take off his warm-ups.
I can't even talk about the skills competition and my boy Luka Doncic. Oh my God.
Didn't even take off his warm-ups. He was like,
He's never phoned anything in worse than he did that skills competition.
Oh, the 3-point contest was really good this year, though.
3-point contest was good. That's always good, though.
It's always good.
I think they need to make the skills competition harder, or they just need to turn it into team knockout. And then the dunk contest needs to be people I care about.
Yes.
Or add stakes to everything. The loser of every competition is out of the fucking league. Is out. If this weekend it happened and that was it, Luka's gone. Luka's out of the league.
Oh my God.
The best player in the league is fucking gone. That's how it should be. I just think you get big players in, and if they fuck up,
Everything
They're gone. Oh, you can't shoot 25 threes? You're fucking out of here. Are you kidding me?
Imagine if your lottery position depended on shit like
God, yes!
Great. That would be fucking amazing.
It would be.
You have a representative from every team.
Yep.
That is in the skills competition. You better fucking do this.
Yep.
Mark Cuban is like in Luca's ear, like I'm gonna reject you on Shark Tank if you don't fucking take this home. Are you ready?
Yo, imagine.
Like I would love that.
It would be so good.
So good.
Then teams would start drafting guys who are only good on Instagram to 10 days right before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
They would leave a roster spot open all year so they could sign fucking Joe Instagram basketball to a 10-day.
Steve Nash is
Oh my God!
Steve Nash is begging Kyrie to show up as Uncle Drew. Like, please show up as Uncle Drew, please.
Oh, just a whole bunch of 5'10" dudes with crazy hops just magically in the league for no reason for like a week. It would be kind of great.
That'd be great.
I will say this too before we just move away from the All-Star conversation. This was the blackest All-Star game that's ever been.
I can't believe that there weren't people in there for this one.
Oh, we were talking about it on online. I was like, I'm so sad that this is the All-Star game where they went full blast on mega blackness, and there's no one in the stands to be excited. In Atlanta, the blackest place on planet, and I'm so sad they didn't do it.
It is wild though that they were okay. This I don't really understand.
Yeah,
they were able to get. I don't know how stuff works, but they were able to get the court to be Atlanta themed.
Yeah.
But they weren't able to get, Nike wasn't able to get 30 jerseys made that weren't Indiana Pacers themed.
I mean,
before this game.
I mean,
because they all just looked like the old Pacers uniforms.
They did.
And I don't know, they couldn't get 30 jerseys. Nike couldn't get 30 jerseys. The wildest
thing about that, Nikki, the jersey, the warm ups look better than the jerseys this year. And they didn't sell any of the All-Star jerseys on the
exactly. You can't even buy them. What's the point? If you're gonna be one-offs anyway, just fucking make 30 of them.
That's like one of the best parts of the whole NBA All-Star thing. Is like, you go in the store and you're like, ooh, this is the jersey up this year. And they didn't put the jerseys up because it's the same jersey. Bad. It did.
They introduced that third, fourth jersey for everybody though.
Did they?
Chelsea, yeah.
No,
it's like the Icon collection. They're named really terribly.
The Heats one is like yellow.
Yeah, that isn't. It's weird. The Mavs one looks exactly like the Thunder one. It's exactly the same. Only the logos are different.
Oh, really?
The way that they're doing it is that I'm sorry for just springing this topic on y'all, but the championship team will get a gold swoosh to delineate that they're the champions of the season prior. So the Lakers jersey is black, Mamba-esque, purple and gold lettering and numbers, but the Nike swoosh is gold, and that's the only team in the league whose swoosh is gold. And that's how they will be
called earned jerseys.
It's terrible.
Earned jerseys? What?
Bad.
What? Okay. I mean,
some of them are all right.
Yeah. I mean,
some of them are like the Jazz one's good. I don't even think the Lakers one's that great.
The Hornets ones are nice. The Buzz City ones are nice. Chicago one, I don't like them doing the kind of marquee coloring on it. I'll find it.
The Raptors one is just the gold, the OVO one, except it's purple. Like some of them are weird. Like the Magic one just looks like the Magic uniform. Like, I don't really understand what the difference is, but I guess I don't look at the Magic uniform that frequently. But
now,
I mean, like, this.
I don't understand the Mavs one because they have a jersey that already looks like this one.
They do,
that they wear.
I can't front.
Yeah.
I can't front. Porzingis in this jersey looking like this.
In this gold one?
His haircut looks like he would definitely say a Meyers Leonard word.
Yeah, he would, absolutely. It would sound really weird, and you'd have to. It would be one of those situations where, like, you're asking the person to say the slur again, not because you want to incriminate them again, just because you didn't catch it the first time, and you're like, "Are you You did do a racism right there, right? Can you just say it again?
Do a racism right there.
You did do a racism.
Do
correct?
a racism. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had time to pull these up to show folks. The Denver ones are fire, though. I do like the Denver ones.
Yeah, just Google it, folks.
Yeah, just Google it.
It's earned jerseys. EARNED earned.
Yeah. Oh well. Ooh, those are nice. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the new playoff situation. Playoffs. The new play-in tournament format that we're going to have, which I am still
This is a terrible fucking. This is such a bad explanation.
This is
as
bad.
to what
they could not have done any worse than this. Let me see if I can explain it in a way that makes more sense. Okay. So basically, there's 4 more teams. No, there's 2 more teams in each conference that are eligible for the playoffs than there are normally. Usually, they go to the 8th seed, but now. Well, I guess there's 4 then. Usually they go to the 8 seed, but now they go all the way up to the 10 seed. Wait, can you put the picture back?
Absolutely.
So I can see it. Okay. So 9 plays 10. Those are the new ones. 7 plays 8. That is pre-existing. The winner of 9-10 has to play another game. And the loser of 7-8 has to play against the winner of 9-10. If you win 7-8, then you're automatically into the playoffs, which is how it worked before, because then you're just the 7th seed.
Right.
The 9-10 winner plays the 7-8 loser, and then they get the 8th seed. They are the last spot in the playoffs.
So
and then the rest of the teams. Basically, if you're being rewarded for being the higher seed by giving you the opportunity to lose once.
Yeah.
So it's basically.
So you have 2 opportunities.
Did a single elim tourney for the lap.
Yes, except you go to the gulag instead of being eliminated immediately.
Right. Okay.
Everyone at home.
This is a
gulag in the Call of Duty.
The Call of Duty Warzone gulag. They're not going to send the Miami Heat to the literal Russian gulag. No, but yeah, that's basically what it is. They're giving the higher seed in the tournament. They're giving them the opportunity to lose once to then play the winner of 9-10.
That is so because it's so complicated for no reason.
There are 30 teams in the league.
Yeah.
Yep.
20 of them.
Yeah, this is real MLS numbers.
That's like I don't want to. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like an old.
No, say it, John. Say the sanctity of the National Basketball Association playoffs.
I just think it's silly. Silly. Like, are you good enough to get? I mean, even if frankly, whenever I see the 5 to 8 seeds, I'm like, fucking get them out of here. It's 1 to 4. Let's go. Like, it's 3 division winners and 1 wild card. What are you doing? That's all we need.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna do 8, that's fine. But 10 on each side is
the way this needs to work. Is it shouldn't be. There needs to be just another break. Is how I would do it, and I would take the bottom 4 and I would play a tournament that is group stage, and they each team plays 4 games, and whoever has the highest point total, then they get into the playoffs. You give the rest of the squads a break, and then this isn't like a good idea. This is a better idea than the one that the National Basketball Association has come up with, because you get more games on TV,
right?
And you give the actual good teams a break,
sure.
And then you have a summer tournament that isn't the finals.
We already do that. We already play there are 70 games this year. There are 82 normally. I don't think we need the extra time and energy to determine which are the best teams. If you miss out on that 8th seed by half a game, fuck off. See you next year. Like, sorry, that's just how it works. It's just like, to me, it's just like, this is not complicated. I don't think it makes the league more exciting. I actually don't think it makes the league more exciting. I think it makes it like I think it prolongs the inevitable. I think when a 10 seed wins the NBA championship, then we might as well throw the baby out with the bathwater and do something totally different. But until that happens, and it fucking won't. I just don't know why we do shit like this. It's just weird to me.
I think the NBA is just trying to get like some of the soccer energy going, because I think that the beautiful thing about soccer is that even though you're like, there's a regular season and then the teams play in it, and then at the end of the season they go to the playoffs, and then whoever has the most wins. Soccer is like, all right, but what if there were 6 different competitions at the same time and you were actually unclear on who was playing who and whether or not the games counted or not every other week? I think the NBA is like, we want to have games kind of all the time of like varying states, because I think they're just like, the idea of a single elimination game is good, and they're never going to move to a single elimination playoffs, which would be fucking incredible if they just moved to like, it was single elimination all the way to the top and then best of 3 or something in the finals. That would be unreal. But like intense. They're never gonna move to that. So they're like, we can capture some of that excitement by like framing this as it's do or die.
Right.
If Luka Doncic doesn't hit this shot, he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really funny that I think a lot of Major League Baseball is kind of doing this too, where it's like they're trying to recapture the idea of like the Game 7. I'm like, well, you have the power to make the entire thing out of the Game 7 if you want to. Like, you have the ability to just go, everything is a Game 7 now. And then the marketing does its fucking self, where you don't have to worry about what Game 3 of a 7-game series is going to do from a marketing or advertising perspective. Every single game, even if it's one, and even it's the fucking the 6 seed and the 3 seed, who gives a shit? That's a really big game immediately. And so I don't know, like, I would love to see them, if they're going to mess with the format, do that 1 year and just see what happens. And then I think we've got we've got more excitement. Then there's a chance that the Golden State Warriors that beat the Mavericks from the 8 seed all those years ago, maybe they make a run. Maybe that's exciting. But 7-game series make 8 seeds look like 8 seeds eventually. And if you don't want that anymore, then make it, just build the whole plane out of the black box.
So. Oh God, I'm sure if they did, then Meyers Leonard would have something to say about it.
Hey.
I think that is where we should leave it, with the most complicated version of the player.
Just look at the JPEG. Just Google it.
Oh no, I have it. It's tattooed on my belly.
Please look at the JPEG. It looks like one of those fucking problems that you used to have to solve by completing a circuit board in 8th grade.
It's like,
and I was
fucking
really
Spider-Man 2018 ass puzzle.
If 9th place and 7th place leave the station at the same time, I don't want to know. I don't like basketball that much to have to figure out that dumb shit.
Right.
Everybody at home, thank you again, as always, for listening and for watching Corner 3 with us. Again, please, if you are listening in audio format, check us out on the Apple Podcast platform so you can give us a 5-star review. We're on everything and anything that gives you a podcast in the space, so please make sure you're checking out all the work we do here at Fanbyte. Nikki, if folks wanted to ask us questions for the show or get in contact with us and hang out a little bit, where would they go?
You can go to fanbyte.casa, which is our Discord, and head on over to the podcast questions feed. Make sure you tag your question with Corner 3 so we can see it.
And John is wearing some beautiful Fanbyte merch that is the flyest stuff on the internet, because I just said fly like I'm 83 years old. Where would we go to go cop some new Fanbyte gear?
You can go grab that at Stored. Oh, no. Fuck you, John. It's at store.fanbyte.com.
Can I say it?
Say it.
You can go to fanbyte.com to just read a bunch of stuff that's good on the internet. So it's fine. Podcastnet.org if you want to listen to the other podcasts that we have. It's fine.
Also,
but just whatever Nikki said is fine.
Nikki said that to John as if John just made this kind of jerk chicken. If you're not understanding what we're laughing at, check out the video of the podcast because it's amazing.
I thought it was an egg the first time I saw it.
We're showing a picture of the most non-seasoned jerk chicken that I've ever seen on the planet.
Looks like E.T. dead in a gutter.
Somebody said when they looked at that piece of chicken, they was like, I thought it was burrata.
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah.
It looks like burrata.
It does, totally.
I was like, oh my God. Anyway.
That's brutal.
Look at that. Look at that mozzarella.
Oh my God. Talk about things that deserve to be in the gulag. That piece of chicken. That shit is a war crime. Anyway, we're getting up out of here. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all next week with more Corner 3. Much love and peace.
Bye.
Bye.